Hey, aloha, and welcome. The Spirit of Sports Show. YouTube at Notpods, notpods.com, coming soon. I know I say that. It's true. Does this look better? That looks. Maybe that is better. I'm in my pseudo studio trying to figure out the lighting. Sound is pretty good. Can you tell which of these three I did and which two the kid did? I'll give you a t-shirt. Anybody that's watching. I haven't made them yet. I am going on vacation this week, so the schedule's going to be a little different. I leave Thursday the 5th through the 18th. We'll be coming at you live from Corvallis, Beaver game, live from SoFi. So some exciting stuff down the road. When I get back, I will get some t-shirts going, be doing some giveaways. Exciting times here at Notpods, the Spirit of Sports, my flagship show. Uncle Richie live, high noon in the middle of the Pacific Ocean where the palm trees sway, and we're just trying to make a life without shoes. I don't want to wear shoes. I'm sure y'all know that. This is Monday, October 2nd. NFL in full swing. It's a quarter of the season done already almost. Can you believe it? It's crazy, man. Football season goes by so fast and the summer goes by so slow. Maybe make it like a 24-game football season. That'd be awesome. Today, we're doing the NFL recap, scores and some stats. I got my backseat quarterback. It's going to be huge. It's one of my favorite shows. Backseat quarterback. It's where during the game, I'm backseat driver and saying, what the hell are you doing? On Monday, I'm a Monday morning quarterback saying, what the hell were you doing? And I swear there's so many times that I feel like I could do it better. Play calling, game management, clock management, stupid penalties, officiating. Much as I love the NFL, it's freaking irritating as heck. I don't want to cuss. I got in trouble already for showing live TV, Red Zone. They kicked me off the show, or they took my show down right as it was happening. So I'm not sure how cussing works, but every time I say frick or shot, you know what I mean. And I have it that this is not for children. So Uncle Richie, the Spirit of Sports. We're talking sports. We're talking life. Let's get into it. First of all, and I haven't talked much, if any, baseball, but the baseball playoffs do kick off starting, I believe, tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, today. Actually, there's a game going on right now. Holy cow. Holy cow. And there's a drive to deep center field, and it is a home run. Old guy, 1950s announcer. Holy cow, 2-1. The Marlins. Wait, the Mets made the playoffs? Hold up. Are you serious? Okay, I'm confused. Oh, that's right. There was a game suspended that they're not going to resume. My bad. No baseball today because the Mets and the Marlins has no impact on the playoffs. Starting tomorrow, we have baseball. We got the 4 and the 5 seed Florida versus Philly in the National League. Arizona 6 seed takes on Milwaukee in the National League. The Braves 1 seed and the Dodgers 2 seed get a bye. I just got a thumbs up. Thanks, guys. You could even chat if you want. American League Number 5 seed Texas plays number 4 seed Tampa Rays. Toronto, 6 seed, plays the Twins, number 3 seed. And Baltimore with the number 1 seed, and Houston get a bye. And Houston just snuck in, man. Heartbreak for Seattle fans. Once again, imagine that. So yeah, starting tomorrow, got all 4 games. Texas, Tampa, 9 a.m. Hawaiian. Toronto, Minnesota, 10:30 Hawaiian. It's going to be a lot of baseball going on at the same time. Arizona at Milwaukee, 1 o'clock Hawaiian. And Miami, Philly, 2 o'clock. We'll just keep track of scores and some of the players as that goes on. But enough of that. This is Uncle Richie. This is the spirit of sports. We're talking sports. We're talking life. And we are talking NFL almost all the time. This is my Monday recap show, and stay tuned. I think it's my favorite segment is my backseat quarterback coming at you shortly. As I go through the games, let's get into yesterday. We already talked about Thursday night, where Detroit just pretty much hammered and controlled Green Bay physically, mentally. So Detroit looking real good. Across the pond had our first Europe game. There's 5 this year. Jacksonville, their pseudo home team. I actually took them in one of my survivor pools. It was a no-brainer. They went 23-7. Does Jacksonville. Desmond Ridder threw a pick 6, 2 interceptions, 191 yards, 1 touchdown. Atlanta, they're struggling. I thought they'd be better. Jacksonville, they needed this win, lost their last 2, so they go to 2-2. Atlanta falls to 1-3. I believe. No, Atlanta 2-2. I'm sorry. Got to know this stuff, Uncle Richie. That brings us to what I thought and many thought was going to be the barn burner game of the week, high scoring affair. Well, it was on one half. Buffalo just demolishes Miami. Too much pressure up the middle, too much D-line athleticism, blocking the passing routes and the passing channels. Tua looks small, looks slow. 48-20. Buffalo. Miami is going to do great against the lesser defenses, but Buffalo showed what a good defense can do. They even lost their best cornerback. Didn't matter. Tua, 282 yards with a touchdown and a pick. Achon, 101 yards rushing. But looking at the numbers, you wouldn't think it was that bad. Tyreek only had 3 catches for 58 yards, so that's a fantasy dud in tomorrow's show. Josh Allen, 320 yards, 21 for 25. He had as many incompletions as he did touchdowns, 4 each. The ground game was pretty bottled up, but didn't really need it. Just dominating performance, 48-20. Then the other barn burner that everybody was looking forward to, but 2 0-3 teams, so opposite. What's the opposite of a barn burner? What, a corral soaker. Denver comes back down 28-7 in the second half. Chicago just with a choke job. Denver 31-28. Justin Fields actually had a really good game. 4 touchdowns, only 1 pick, 335 yards. We had a key fumble, which as I will pontificate on my backseat quarterback. I'm going to tell you, the play calling in the NFL, these guys make $10 million a year. I don't understand it. I will get into it a lot more. Just It's pathetic. And games are given away with terrible, crappy play calling, clock management, game management. I don't understand it. Hire me to tell you when to call a timeout. I'll just sit up in the booth and tell you, call timeout. I'm going to get pretty pissy. This is a backseat quarterback, and it's just going to get worse. I don't understand it. Let's get back to this. Russell Wilson, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Got the deep ball going a little bit. You know, he's looking a lot better than last year. Jeremy McLaughlin, rookie out of Youngstown State, 7 rushes for 72 yards. As my boy Javonte Williams, 2 carries and a hip injury to go along with his knee. Kind of counting on that guy. One of my fantasy leagues is looking troubled at running back, to say the least. So Denver pulls victory from the jaws of defeat, and Chicago just hands over a game, 21-point lead in the second half. What a mess. I think they're both a mess, but Chicago especially. Baltimore goes into Cleveland, just gives them a whipping. 28-3, Baltimore all over Cleveland. That vaunted defense. You never know. NFL is so liquid, so week to week. You crown a team one week and then you dump on them the next. And they do that to themselves, and you just don't know. That's why it's a gamble. Why it's called gambling. I will talk about my picks tomorrow too. They pretty much took a turn for the worse. We'll see. I'm 0 for 3 on my 4-pack. I got tonight. I got Seattle and a pick 'em. Still doing better than Colin Cowherd and Nick Wright, though. Tell you that. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, 2 rushing and 2 throwing touchdowns. They're just, it's a work in progress for Baltimore. You win 28-3 against that defense, and it's a work in progress. They're right up there with my Super Bowl favorites still. Cleveland had to go Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR, 19-36, 121 yards, and 3 picks. That's just a rookie in the NFL. NFL is tough. Tough to win games. It's tough to play quarterback. It's not for the weak at heart. It's not for the queasy. It's not for the ones that can't stand the sight of blood. The NFL is a man's game. Tell you what. Moving on. Another shellacking. Cincinnati goes into Tennessee. Doesn't score a touchdown. Derrick Henry had more touchdown passes than Joe Burrow. Burrow struggled. I think he's a lot more injured than he's letting on. 20 for 30, 165 yards. No touchdowns, no picks, but didn't get any offense going. Mixon was 67 yards on 14 carries. Jamar Chase, 7 for 73. Couldn't get in the end zone. On the other hand, Tennessee, 170 yards rushing, 122 from Derrick Henry. 1 week after a 20-yard game. It's just so up and down. You don't know. I would say you might as well flip a coin, but I'm doing that. And the guy's JFK. He's about 500 on the year, flipping coin. And Milani is close. I don't know what you do. You put in your money and you pray. That's how you bet on the NFL, especially with spreads. Tannehill, 240 yards, a touchdown and a pick. As I said, Derrick Henry had the 1 touchdown pass and also a touchdown run. Just time. I think it's time, Joe, take a seat for a little bit. I think you can't get out of the pocket. You're way less mobile. Something else might get hurt. See what Browning can do. Get the rookie out there. Let him take his lumps because you might need him down the road more. But since he's 1-3, not looking like the Super Bowl contender that almost all of us figured they would be. Moving on, the Rams going to Indy, take a huge lead, 23-0. 23-0 first half, 23-0 second half. Indy goes to overtime, and Puka Nacua. Are you kidding me, Hawaiian? Puka Nacua, 9 catches, 163 yards, and the walk-off touchdown for the rookie. Let's see, 40 catches in 4 games. It's crazy. I got it right. Okay, hold on. Taking some notes. We're going to start doing stat leaders on Tuesday in the NFL. Is Kirk Cousins leading the league in passing? Maybe not after yesterday. Stafford, 27 of 40, 319 yards and a touchdown. Kieran Williams, 25 rushes, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's how you do. Give your guy the ball 25 times and see what happens. You throw the ball 65+%, you lose. You run the ball 45 to 50%, you win. I don't know why they can't figure this out. Backseat quarterback, I'm getting ramped up. It's about a 7-minute rave I got coming up. And there's going to be some vitriol and there's going to be some anger. Because this shot pisses me off. Frickin' pisses me the frick off. Figure it out. $10 million a year, people. AR5 went from 0 to hero. Anthony Richardson. I love the guy. Saturday night, I put him in all 3 of my 6 fantasy leagues. And at halftime, I'm going, what are you doing? I benched him. I benched Lamar Jackson in 2 leagues. Turns out, AR5, more points. 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. And also a touchdown run with 56 yards on the ground. Just a tale of 2 halves for both teams. They just flip scripts. Rams great, Indy terrible first half. Second half, Indy great, Rams terrible. Rams got the ball and went down the field and scored. Both defenses somewhat suspect. Moving on, Zach Moss, 18 carries for 70 yards. See, that's a balanced attack. AR5 with 10 rushes. Trey Sermon gets 3. So that's 31 rushes and 25 passes. And you went to overtime and just couldn't get a stop. That's the NFL right there, I'm telling you. That'll be on my show tomorrow. The run versus pass. On the year, losing teams pass 67% of the time. Winning teams pass 52% of the time. It's obvious. I don't understand it. Tampa goes into New Orleans as an underdog. Baker Mayfield crushing. 25 of 32, 246, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Didn't matter. Only ran the ball 25 times. That's all right. Threw 32. Pretty even. With Baker's 8 rushes. That's 32 each. Godwin, 8 catches, 114 yards. Otten and Palmer and Tompkins, the unheard of trio, gets Baker's touchdowns. Mike Evans goes out. Was it hamstring, ankle, something? Derek Carr, 23 of 37, 37 passes and 127 yards. I just don't get it. No picks, though. Jameis threw 1 pass, and it was a pick. I don't know. Taysom Hill 1 for 1. Kamara's back, 11 carries, 51 yards. He did have 13 receptions, though, at 2.5 yards a catch. New Orleans, not quite sure what's going on there. I really thought they were going to win the South. And it's early, but they're 2-2 a game out. Tampa Bay in the driver's seat in the South right now. If you want to call it that, they're 3-1. Moving on. Moving on from town to town. Oh, here was a sweat box for Uncle Richie. Philly, Washington, in Philly. After 38-3 debacle last week, Washington comes in and takes it to overtime. Could have gone for 2 to win the game. Could have been deep into Philly territory. McLaurin's foot was out, maybe not. At least they didn't overturn it. That's one of my raves. How can you look? Okay, it's incontrovertible evidence to overturn a call is the rule. How can you look at an instant replay for 3, 4, 5 minutes? And no matter what, you can't overturn it if it takes that long. It's incontrovertible evidence. Either look up, this is coming, I'm going to reiterate this, but look up the definition of incontrovertible or change the frickin' rule, NFL. Las Vegas, should I say? I got one under the hood for tomorrow. Patrick Mahomes was questionable. That dude was shady last night. Never seen anything like it. Oh, my bad. Oh, throw. What are you doing? Not like, oh, usually just pissed. It's just, oh, my bad. Just limp wristed. We'll talk about that tomorrow. 80% of the money, by the way, on the Chiefs in Vegas on a Monday night game. Vegas maybe not doing so great this year. Vegas maybe says, you know, we need that 80% this week. We'll talk about that tomorrow under the hood. Under the hood / that's peculiar. How about this one? How about this one, Miami Dolphins? I tip my can't lay hat to you. Moving on. Oh, Washington. Not moving on. Staying in Philadelphia at the link. I have a $100, $25,000 payout. Survivor pool with Philly yesterday. In the week 5, there's only under 100 teams left. I had Philly. Believe me, I was sweating it out. Might have been a couple F-bombs thrown at the TV. They get away with it. Washington, I don't know. After that's the up and downness of the NFL. It's just, you know, makes no sense. Topsy-turvy league. Sam Howell goes 29 of 41 for 290 and a touchdown. Seemed like he threw for 400 yards watching the game. Well, how much you could watch of it, seeing how there's 9 games at once. Just so you make your money and people have to watch. Nobody's watching your commercials, NFL. I don't care. You put one game on Monday Night Football, I ain't watching commercials. You put 3 games on and you make us. How am I supposed to follow 9 freaking games at once? So thanks a lot for that. But from what I did see, Sam Howell felt like he threw for 400 yards. How many punts did they have? They punted 5 times. Felt like they punted once. Yeah. Brian Robinson, 45 yards and a touchdown. McLaurin almost had his 9th catch. Would have been over 100 yards. I think if they called that in, it was in. But apparently, Vegas didn't need them to overturn that call. Apparently. Hurts 319, 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift only 14 carries, 56 yards and a tutty. A.J. Brown, huge for 2 of my fantasies. 9 catches, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, 59-yarder, and a 30-yarder. Backseat quarterbacking, though. Can't take that freaking taunting crap. Brotherhood. Cost your team. We'll get into that coming up shortly. Minnesota goes into Carolina, covers the spread 21-15. They were down early. Yeah. I think it was 13-0 at one point. Minnesota. Cousins only 139 yards. He kind of comes crashing back down to earth, which he has a tendency to do. 2 TDs, 2 picks. I think one was a pick 6 for 100. Madison, that I traded, 17 rushes, 95 yards. Didn't get in the end zone. JJ, Justin Jefferson, 6 catches, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. Carolina, Wee Man, 25 of 32, 204. I'm just going to call him Wee Man. That guy gets ragdolled around. Bryce Young. I don't know if he's going to make it through a season. I don't know if he's going to make it through his career. He is just small. Let's just tell the truth. Miles Sanders, he's a dud. 13 for 19 yards. 27. Yeah, they were pretty balanced. 32 passes to 30 rushes, but I just don't think that they have the horses. Carolina 0-4. Thielen, 7 for 76. Enough about that. Pittsburgh, backseat quarterback. Spoiler. 4th and inches, you're in frickin' shotgun, and you get your quarterback knee injured. Because it's 4th and inches, and you're throwing the ball out of the shotgun on 4th and inches, and you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love D'Amico Ryans. I love what they're doing. I'm picking up that defense. Pickett, 15 for 23, 114 yards and an interception. Trubisky, garbage time, 3 for 5 and 18 yards. Najee got the ball 14 times for 71 yards. Jaylen Warren, 8 for 29. Just abysmal, dismal offensive output by these Pittsburgh Steelers. Houston, on the other hand, they got the rookie of the year. C.J. Stroud, 16 of 30, 306 and 2 touchdowns. Nico Collins going off. 7 catches, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, 52-yarder. Dameon Pierce, they're starting to get it. 24 carries, 81 yards. Against up with a pretty bad offensive line. Very balanced attack. Houston, well played. 2-2. The 3 laughing stocks that we all thought. Zona, Houston, Indy. What? They're 500 between them. Almost. What's Arizona? Arizona's 1 win, but Indy and Houston, 2 wins each. Looking real good. 4 to go. Chargers trying to give away another game. Brandon Staley, how long is that guy going to last? Backseat quarterback coming up on the Chargers. I'm over it. Aiden O'Connell looked lost. 24 of 39, 238 and a pick. Terrible pick. And why Asante Samuel doesn't go 99 yards for the touchdown. Slide down at your own 10. Could have cost you giving the Raiders one more chance. This makes no sense. Everything they do makes no sense. Josh Jacobs got him going a little bit. 17 rushes, 58 yards and a touchdown, but also 8 receptions for 81 yards. So 140 yards total. Devontae Adams had a scare. Came back in the game, 8 for 75. Just, is Hoyer the better call? I know Aiden looked great in preseason, but that's why preseason is preseason, not the NFL. Herbert, 13 of 24 only, 167 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Josh Kelly, 65 yards on 17 carries. Palmer, Keenan Allen, only 3 catches, 1 for a touchdown. Yeah. Maybe Mike Williams is more important than everybody thought. Just his presence. Not a well-played game by the Chargers at all. Another super controversial 4th down call decision. There's a difference between the decision and the call. We'll talk about that. Dallas 38-3. That's all we need to say. Mac Jones, 150 yards and 2 picks and a fumble. We're supposed to have a decent defense. Matthew Judon went down. Their rookie, Christian Gonzalez, poor duck, he went down. 2 best defensive players go down in the game. Give up 38 points. Can't get in the end zone. Prescott, 261 yards and a touchdown. Pollard only had 47 yards. CeeDee Lamb only had 4 catches, 36 yards, first touchdown. So he's a little bit of a disappointment this year. I'll take him. Anybody wants to trade him. Arizona went in, and, they played pretty well. Still get beat by 19. 2 touchdown drops at the end. That's peculiar. I didn't look where the money was on San Fran. That would have uncovered the spread. 35-16. Josh Dobbs couldn't even find his own name jersey in the Cardinals authentic store. He went to print out a jersey. His name wasn't even on there in the team store in Phoenix. So that was pretty funny. He posted that. 28 of 41, 265, 2 touchdowns. The guy's solid. He is a rocket scientist, apparently. Tennessee. James Conner, 11 for 52. Marquise Brown, 7 for 96. Michael Wilson, 7 catches, 76 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 1 super nice grab. The guy's throwing some good balls. I think San Fran's this good. That's all. Purdy, 283 and a touchdown. Ho-hum. McCaffrey, 20 rushes, 106 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ho-hum. McCaffrey, 7 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Ho-hum. Had a chance to tie the record for 5 touchdowns. First they gave it to Juszczyk, and then they snuck it. So never understood that. Why don't you just let McCaffrey tie the touchdown record? Do they not like fantasy football? You know, Debo didn't even get a target. So I know he's been hurt, but I thought he played. Yeah, he actually had 2 rushes for 3 yards, or 3 rushes for 6 yards and not 1 target. Kittle, 1 catch for 9 yards on 1 target. So that's really weird. Can you say codependent, Christian McCaffrey? And finally, last night, MetLife, Swifties in the house, Ron in the house. Backseat quarterback, Pat Mahomes, like this. Oh, my bad. Ooh. I don't know, bro. 23-20 KC. Say what you want about Zach Wilson. He looked like a real quarterback for 3 quarters. He's getting the ball out on time. Very accurate. Strong arm. For him, 28 of 39, 245. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Took care of the ball, except just has to be something. It's always something, huh? Little bit left and low on the snap. Fumble the shotgun when you're driving to take the lead or at least tie the game with 7.5 to go. Everybody's going to try to blame the refs. SOS held on that play. There was 2 egregious calls that went against KC. How about stop him on 3rd and 22? I'm sick of that guy. I won't tell you what I call him, Lil B. Lil B Mahomes and Lil B Curry. How many 3rd and 25s and you're going to let him run up the middle for 26 yards? How about have a spy on a guy like that, especially on 3rd and long? Irritating. Breece Hall gets 6 carries. Dalvin Cook gets 5 carries. What are we doing here? Throw the ball 39 times and rush it 14. Did I say when you throw the ball more than 65% of the time, you lose? I wish they would listen to me. One day they're going to listen to me. Get on the ball on 4th and inches and say, set hut. Get on the ball the whole game, just say, set hut. It's unstoppable. You will wear them down. You'll keep the offense off the field. Mahomes, 18 of 30, 203, a touchdown and 2 picks, and had another 2 dropped. And saying, oh, my bad. Oh, what is this? I've never seen. It's like Michael Jordan back in 96 against Seattle, when guaranteed the NBA needed 6 games. They won the first 3 easily, and then he's shooting free throws like this. And just like, he did this, but opposite of the 3-pointers. Mahomes, something's not right. Pacheco, something's right. I heard a good one. He runs the ball like he's pissed at the ground. I thought that was really good. 20 rushes, 115 yards, and that 50-yard touchdown. Also caught 3 for 43. Kelsey, 6 for 60 in front of his girlfriend. The NFL official Twitter site actually put that the Swifties are 2-0. Talk about catering to one team. It's supposed to be unbiased. They quickly took it down, but everybody knows it was there. So that's a wrap-up of Sunday. Still have tonight. This is Monday, October 2nd. Right here we have, this is my favorite segment. This and this and this. This is what I call backseat quarterback. I do this every Monday at the end of the show. It's 3 to 5 minutes of me ranting, and I'm pissed, and I'm pissed. These guys are millionaires, and they can't figure this out. I started out Houston. Rookie quarterbacks throwing the ball 40 times a game. You have a battering ram at running back. You have a guy he should be carrying the ball 25 times for 125 yards a game, 2,000-yard rusher. And he gets the ball 13 times. I know the line's not great, doesn't matter. If you have them fire off the ball, any line will be a greater running than passing unit if you just give them the chance. I've been saying this for years. It's called the John Madden scheme. You can call it the blocking sled, bowling ball, sledgehammer, whatever you want to call it. You get on the ball, you stick your fingers in the ground, offensive line, you get in a sprinter stance, you say, set, hut. And then you muddle. No huddle. You muddle right around the ball. Or you can huddle right there. Ready, break. Finger on the ground, set, hut. Set, hut. Just like the D-line is a blocking sled. And just think about it. If you did this for a game, even a half, even a quarter, you might punt once or twice. It's going to get to the point the defensive line can't keep up. I don't care if it's 4 Aaron Donalds. Set, hut, pound. None of this. Every second that the offensive line is in the 3-point stance, it's taken away from their effectiveness. And it's giving advantage to the defense. Set, hut. So I watched Houston's very first plays. First freaking play, incomplete pass. Second play, give it off, 13-yard run. They gave him the ball 18 times for 85 yards. Okay, we'll take it. This is no particular order. This is just backseat quarterback, Uncle Richie. What percentage of penalties are on the defense these days in the NFL? It's not hard enough. They make all the rules toward the offense. How sick do you get of defensive holding? And why does it have to be an automatic first down? 3rd down and 32. The play's going this way. Oh, the guy over here just went like this barely. Oh, automatic first down before the pass, holding. So sick of that crap, even if it's your team. I'm just sick of seeing that yellow flag bar every freaking play, it seems like. And especially when your fantasy guy scores. Oh, 65-yard touchdown. Oh, my quarterback and my receiver. Yellow flag. Ah! Down at the 1. I had 4 of those last week. Or my guy or my quarterback's receiver. Down at the 1. Or you bench a guy that goes off. Carolina, 4th and inches. Set, hut on the ball. Got the first down. Thank you. I saw, I think, 6 times in 4th down and a yard or less that the team is in the shotgun. Out of 9 4th downs that they went for it on a yard. 5 of the 6, it doesn't work out. This is another $10 million a year, people. It's 4th down in inches, and you're lining the quarterback 5 yards. So you have to get 6 yards from where you snap the ball when you need an inch. Figure it out. Pittsburgh lost their quarterback because it's 4th down and less than a yard, and you're in the freaking shotgun trying to throw the ball. And you're the Pittsburgh Steelers on the ball and set, hut. It's crap. You know, NFL can be better. It's taken too long for the officials. How can you look at a play for 3 or 4 minutes underneath? There should be a 1 minute. Oh, I know why. Because Vegas is on the line. I forgot. Because you have to see where the money is and how they did that week. But there was the Washington play, and there was one other. I can't remember. Incontrovertible evidence. That means that it's obvious. You can't look at a play for 3, 4, 5 minutes and then overturn the call. That is not incontrovertible. That would be incontrovertible. Evidence means you look at it for 30 seconds. You say, oh, yeah, wrong. If you don't look at it for 30 seconds and you can't definitively say that they made the wrong call, you have to stick to the call on the field or change the rule. It's crap. And if it's Vegas, then change the frickin' rule. Look up the word incontrovertible, or just say, well, if it's close enough, or whatever we need. Be better, NFL. Guess who's injured again? Hamstring and toe. Joey Bosa. Imagine that. All the talent in the world. You know, does it seem like the Chargers have a disproportionate amount of injuries? Could it be because their cheap-ass owner and their facilities and their strength and conditioning coaches and their ice tubs and their weight room? You think that correlates to all the injuries? That you're cheap? Joey Bosa? Panthers get the ball, 45 seconds left before they have it, right around midfield. They got 2 timeouts left. They throw a little out pattern. Guy tries to get out of bounds. 40, 39, clock running, 2 timeouts left. They're inside the 50. 37, 36. I'm here at home. Call timeout! Call timeout! Timeout! They let it 25 seconds off the clock as they're trying to scramble and get a play in. And it's down to 12 seconds left. And did they score? I believe they did not score. Let me double check that. Call timeout. I'm just going to, my mantra, call timeout. Call timeout. Call timeout. Call timeout. They did. They kicked a 56-yard field goal. They could have had a chance to go to the end zone. 2 timeout. If there's only 1 timeout left, I can see that. They have 2 timeouts left, 40 seconds, and they let the clock run down to 12 seconds left. Why don't you have one guy that all he's in charge of is clock management? He's up in the booth and say, hey, coach, this might be the time. Or, coach, call timeout. Penalties, penalties, penalties. Get sick of seeing certain referees. Get sick of seeing them all, bro. Penalty, flag on the play, flag, 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 flag. And play calling is so suspect. It's pathetic. 1st and 10, throw the ball. What Bears? Running the ball, Herbert's just gassing them. Downhill, pounding. 1st and 10, go play action, roll out, leave a guy unblocked, sack, fumble, scoop and score. That's called me. Sack, fumble, scoop and score, bro. On 1st down and 10 with 7 minutes left and you have the lead. And you just been running the ball down their throats. What in the frick are you fricking doing? What's wrong with when you can run the ball? Just keep running the ball till they stop you. Is there an issue with that? Got a problem. Unbelievable. So you're down 11 in the first half and you go for 2. Is that a thing now, Miami? Is that the analytics? Down 11 and go for 2 in the first half? Why is Anthony Richardson dropping back 8 yards every play? With a bad offensive line, they're going to get him killed. I think it's looking like Andrew Luck all over again. How about get the ball out of his hands quicker? I'd rather have more quarterback draws. I think a quarterback's almost better off when he's laying the load. And at least you can slide. How many 8-step drops and then just stepping up and, another sack. How many times was he sacked? Because from what I could watch of it, because they have to give us 9 games at once. So whatever minimal amount, and if I had the time, I would watch every game again. But I got to do this, and I got to work, and I got the kid. And I said I was going to watch every game. I just don't have the time. Anthony Richardson sacked. Only twice. For only 4 yards lost. Sure felt like 10, though. How many hits? How many times was he pressured? Houston Texans, you're up 13. You're up 10. Run the effing ball. Still not enough. Pierce gets 18 carries. He needs 25. Give him 30. He can handle. How many teams get the run game going and then you just throw the ball 3 times? Yeah, Indy. They got the ball back with 1:12 left. The Rams only had one timeout. They go pass, 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 punt. Indy, run the ball once at least. And you run the ball twice, you're going to overtime no matter what, or you're going to go down and kick a field goal. But you had all your timeouts. The Rams only had one timeout, and you ran 12 seconds off the clock in 3 plays because you pass, pass, pass from your own 30. Then you punt, and you give them a chance. So be it they didn't score, albeit. So be it, albeit. Yeah, they didn't score. Swear to God. Pittsburgh, you got your quarterback injured. 5 for 6 out of the shotgun on 4th and inches. Didn't make it. I swear, NFL is full of effing idiots. The whole effing NFL is full of freaking idiots, bro. I don't understand it. You know, I am saying I could do better. I'm not saying I'm an offensive coordinator and I'd have to learn, 150 phone books worth of plays. But I can tell you, and I sure as hell ain't going to do play action pass on 1st and 10 when we've been running the ball great. I can tell you when you should pass and when you should run. Why they can't figure it out. Run the effing ball. Whether you're the favorite or the underdog. If you're the underdog, you keep the better team off the field. You run the clock. You shorten the game. And if you're the favorite, you run the ball and just run the ball down their throat and save your quarterback an injury. Save your receivers. And what is pass blocking? What's the first move in pass blocking? Retreat. It's a defensive move. On the ball, set hut. 4th down, Chicago. Up 7. 4 minutes left. Within easy field goal range, right around the 30. You're in the shotgun. Trying to draw them off sides, call timeout. 4:12, I believe, left. Come back out after the timeout. You're up 7. Or no, you're tie game. This was tie game. 2:57 left. 4th and 1. Call the timeout. Come back out. It's not to kick the field goal. 2:57 left. It's to go into the shotgun and run right up the gut and get stuffed. Imagine that. 5 out of 6 shotguns, 4th down, don't make it. Yesterday. I wish there was a way to look up every game in the history and see when it's 4th down in a yard or less and you're in the shotgun, what's your percentage? I bet it's 20. On the ball, set hut, or kick a field goal. But that's just Chicago. Defensive coach. That guy's ass is burning. Sometimes, like the 27-0 last year, Brandon Staley, you got some questions to answer too. That's still coming up. Let's talk about that now. Something like that. 21-point lead in the second half. Go for it on 4th down. Terrible play calling. Maybe to say, you know what, turn in your whistle right now, coach, and you can take a taxi home. We're done with you. I would say I'm not a fire a guy type of guy, but I am. Fire a guy. Brandon Staley. Another 4th down in your own end of the field with a 7-point lead. Quarterback sneak. It's better than out of the shotgun. Dude, I hate the Raiders because I was a Raider. And when they moved for the 3rd time, and Mark Davis is such a dumbass that I can't stand him now. I was almost rooting for them just to end this Charger fan misery of coaching. I can't even say mediocrity. Coaching negligence. How many times are you going to go shotgun? How many? It's a disturbing trend. You're handing off the ball 6 yards deep. You need a yard. Why are you losing 5 yards on the snap? If you're going to throw play action, you're going to throw play action at tight ends across the middle or an out. Thank God for the tush push, the brotherly shove, the hurt squirts, whatever you want to call it, got me a yard for my survivor pool. It was like a yard and a half. Do that. You know what really bugs me? Nobody talks about this. They talk about, oh, was a decision good? Was it a bad decision? Or they'll just, all the pundits, all Sports Center, and up the gut, he doesn't make it. Nobody ever pounds the table and says, that's a crappy ass call. Why are you in the shotgun on 4th and inches? Why? Maybe one day people will start listening to me. This is where I'm going to make my mark. Call these freakers out on their crap. I love the Colts moxie. Bears opposite. Wow. Yeah, all these 4th down. There's decisions to go for it or not. And then there's the call. And most of the decisions, I don't mind. Most of the calls are freaking terrible. And I mean freaking terrible. You know what I mean. The Colts did have that 3 straight incompletions with 1:26 left. Run the ball at least once. That's the kind of stuff you lose the game there. Shane Steichen, offensive coach. A.J. Brown, great play. More than once. Get in the guy's face and hand the ball right off in his feet. 15 yards on the kickoff. You give up 15 yards on the kickoff, and they go down and score and almost cost you the game because you're taunting. It's like ghetto stuff. Ghetto crap, bro. Grow up. Act like you've been there before. It's crap. I don't care how much crap is being talked. The whole game is crap talking, shot talking. You just score the touchdown, spike the ball. Don't get in the guy's face and cost your team, damn near cost your team the game. Oh, that's one of the things pisses me off, one of the most. These guys get up in the guy's face and all that. Oh, flag up, just cost your team. Would have been off the field after a 3rd down play. Nice play, get all up 15 yards, 1st down. Get back out there, defense. Thanks a lot, brother. The tuck rule no more. Would have been an incomplete pass back in Brady's days, but Aiden O'Connell gets fumble. You know, at least Brandon Sadie doesn't go shotgun on 4th and 1. Michael Carter had a bad drop, 3rd down. You can't do that at the end of the half. Got to catch that pass. So sick of little B Mahomes. No matter if it's 3rd and 21, he's going to run for 22. How do you not figure it out? How do you let that guy do it? He's probably one of the slower quarterbacks in the NFL, actually. Aaron and Swifty. 80% of the money on KC, and he's throwing the ball like this on a Monday night. Imagine that. You know, Belichick, it's not as cool when you're a dick to reporters when you suck. Maybe just answer the questions. You know? It used to be okay when you were winning Super Bowls. When you're 1-3 and you suck, you better answer the questions, I say. And that's going to wrap it up. This has been Backseat Quarterback. Thank you for joining me, Uncle Richie, live from the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I will see you tomorrow. Love each other. Love yourself. Aloha.